All right, so today we're diving into something.
Oh, this should be good.
That might not sound like the most exciting thing at first glance.
Okay.
We're talking control plan.
Control plans.
But trust me on this one.
Right.
This is about way more than, just some boring document
Right.
that's filed away in a cabinet somewhere.
Yeah.
We're really talking about the systems that help create
Systems, yeah.
consistent, top-notch products
Absolutely.
in all kinds of industries.
Yeah.
I mean, from cars to,
Mhm.
maybe not coffee makers, but
Right.
you get the idea.
Yeah, you get the picture.
Right.
And what's really fascinating is that the automotive industry,
Oh, yeah.
with its incredibly complex supply chains
Yeah,
and these really demanding quality standards,
absolutely.
they've really been leading the way in this area.
Yeah.
They've really honed this tool called a control plan.
They've got it down.
They've figured it out.
And we are lucky enough
Very lucky.
to have a training module from the, cool.
Automotive Industry Action Group,
Okay.
or AIAG for short,
Action.
to guide us on this deep dive.
Nice.
It's designed, primarily for automotive professionals.
Right.
But honestly,
Sure.
the core concepts are applicable,
Yeah,
I think, to almost any field
absolutely.
where
Yeah.
quality's key.
If quality matters, this is for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So think of this deep dive as a way to just extract the essence
Okay.
of control plans.
Like the core.
Yeah, what they are, how they work,
Mm.
but most importantly, how you can apply these principles
Yeah.
in your own world, in your own work,
Yeah.
whether you're, prepping for a big presentation
Right.
or you're just fascinated by how things work and
Yeah.
how we make things. It's all about quality.
So let's unpack this thing.
All right.
The module starts with a pretty straightforward definition.
A documented description of the systems used for controlling the manufacturing process to assure the production of quality parts that meet customer requirements.
So it's all there.
Sounds simple enough, right?
Yeah, in theory.
Right.
But the real magic is how these plans come to life
Yeah.
on the factory floor.
Right.
I think a better way to think about a control plan
Okay.
is as an evolving framework.
Okay.
It's not just this static document.
Right.
It's a system
Right.
for ensuring consistency
Okay.
and for proactively preventing defects.
Gotcha. So it's like
You're ahead of the game.
you're not just reacting to problems, you're preventing problems.
You got it.
So it's like having
It's like having...
a really detailed recipe.
Okay, I like that.
But instead of baking a cake,
Right.
you're baking in quality.
Nice.
The control plan outlines
Frank-
all the ingredients, the steps,
Yeah.
and all the checks and balances
Checks and balances, right.
to make sure that the final product
Mm-hmm.
turns out exactly as intended. Absolutely.
No more, wonky widgets.
Yeah, no wonky widgets.
Or
Yeah.
burnt cake.
Exactly. Perfect cakes every time.
Okay, so
Now, why
this is the big question.
should we care?
Why should you care?
Yeah, why should you care about control plans?
What's in it for me?
What's in it for you?
Yeah. Well, the benefits,
They're pretty tangible.
they're real.
Yeah.
Less waste is a big one.
Okay, less waste. How?
So less scrap,
Okay.
less rework,
Right.
which saves money and resources.
So better for the environment.
Not just good for the bottom line.
Yeah,
good
good.
to the planet too.
Angry. And of
Okay.
course,
Of course.
if you have consistent quality,
Yeah.
you're going to have happier customers,
Have your customers.
which just means better business all around.
That's it. That's the goal.
The module also points out that control plans aren't just about,
It's not just about,
maintaining the status quo.
staying the same. No.
Oh.
It's a framework for
Continuously improving.
always getting better.
It's not just about
It's not about,
avoiding mistakes.
Yep.
It's about striving to do better.
it's about always pushing the limits.
Yeah.
And let's not forget about compliance.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
In industries like automotive,
Yeah.
with standards like IATF 16949,
Right.
control plans play a critical role
Yeah.
in meeting those really strict requirements.
So the module dives into the different types of control plans.
Okay.
You've got prototype, pre-launch, and production.
Okay, so different stages.
And it's interesting how they evolve
Yeah.
alongside the product's life cycle.
It's like leveling up.
It's like leveling up as the product matures.
Exactly. And this actually highlights
Okay.
how control plans are really interwoven with the
With the
with that broader advanced product quality planning process,
APQP.
or APQP. Yeah.
So quality isn't just an afterthought.
Nice.
It's baked in from the very beginning.
It's part of the process from day one.
All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty.
Okay, let's do it.
The structure of a control plan.
Right.
The module breaks it
It
down
breaks it down.
into 3 main sections.
Okay.
You've got general information, process information,
Right.
and evaluation and improvement.
So it's like the header,
Yeah.
the body,
Right.
and the footer
Of your quality roadmap.
of your quality roadmap.
Okay, so first up,
Okay.
the header.
The header.
This is where you'll find all the basic identifying information.
Like
Part numbers, revisions, customer info.
the basics.
It's like the control plan's ID card.
Yeah.
Then we move on to the meat of the matter,
Okay.
the process information section.
This is where the magic happens.
This is where it gets good.
This is where it all comes together.
It's a step-by-step breakdown
Mhm.
of the entire manufacturing process,
Okay.
but it gets incredibly detailed.
Very detailed.
Each step is meticulously linked to other key documents,
Okay.
like the process flow diagram and the PFMEA.
So you're connecting the dots.
You're connecting all the dots,
Yeah.
and it's really about
It's about
anticipating problems before they occur.
exactly.
You're not just reacting to defects.
Right.
You're trying to prevent them in the first place.
That's the key.
Now, one thing
Yeah.
that stood out to me in the module
Okay.
was the distinction between
The distinction between
product characteristics
Yes.
and process characteristics.
yeah, it's a big one.
It's crucial to understand that difference.
Absolutely.
So product characteristics are all about the final product.
Yeah, the end result,
Its dimensions, strength, finish,
all the things you can measure,
all the measurable attributes.
the things that define the product,
While process characteristics
process characteristics.
focus on the parameters controlled during manufacturing.
So what happens while you're making it?
Things like temperature, pressure, speed.
All those factors that can affect the final product.
It's understanding how these factors impact the final product.
You got it.
And of course, for both types of characteristics,
Yeah.
you need to establish
You got to have
clear specifications and tolerances.
need those boundaries.
These are those acceptable ranges of variation
Yeah, the wiggle room
that make sure the final product
meets the requirements.
meets its intended purpose.
That's right.
The module also gets into measurement techniques and equipment.
Oh yeah, you got to be able to measure it.
It's about having the right tools
The right tools for the job.
to verify that everything stays within those tolerances.
Making sure you're on track.
And it's not just what you measure,
Right.
it's how often
Yeah.
and how much you measure.
So the sample size
Right.
and the frequency are crucial.
It's a balance
It's finding that balance.
between thoroughness and efficiency.
You don't want to measure every single thing,
Right, you don't need to measure everything
but you need enough data
to make informed decisions.
to know what's going on.
You know, one thing I found really interesting
Yeah, what's that?
was this emphasis on statistical process control?
SPC.
Oh, SPC.
Yeah, SPC, powerful tool.
The module explains how using charts
Charts and data analysis.
can help you monitor trends
You can see what's happening.
and adjust the process proactively
Instead of waiting for problems,
before things go off track.
being proactive.
It's like having an early warning system
Exactly.
for your manufacturing process.
You can see the problems coming.
So you can make adjustments before it's too late.
Exactly. That's the power of SPC.
And of course, even with the best SPC in the world,
Right.
things can still go wrong.
Yeah, things happen.
So that's why,
The control plan also includes
yeah,
what they call reaction plans.
it's like having
It's like a troubleshooting guide.
yeah, a built-in troubleshooting guide.
Built right in.
Yeah, so if something goes wrong,
Predetermined steps
yeah,
to take if a process veers off course.
it helps you.
Minimize downtime.
Exactly. Minimize
Help
downtime.
keep those little hiccups
Yeah.
from becoming major disasters.
You don't want those little problems.
Snowballing into something big.
Exactly. Stop them before they get out of control.
So speaking of which, the final section of the control plan focuses on
Yeah.
evaluation and improvement.
Always improving.
It emphasizes the importance of regular reviews
Got to check in, make sure things are working.
to make sure the plan is doing its job.
Yeah. Is it effective?
And also identifying areas for improvement.
Always looking for ways to get better.
And this is where that idea of the control plan
Yeah.
as an adaptable framework
Right.
really comes into play.
It's not set in stone.
You're constantly evaluating its effectiveness,
Mm-hmm.
identifying areas where it can be improved,
Finding those weak spots.
and then making those
Then
changes.
adjusting, tweaking, improving.
It's a continuous
It's a cycle.
cycle of learning and optimization.
Always learning, always getting better.
You know, all this talk about control plans being used in manufacturing
Yeah.
made me think
Could we apply these principles
in other areas.
in other areas? Like, what about something totally different,
Like what?
like running a restaurant kitchen?
Ooh, interesting.
I mean, could you have a control plan for a kitchen?
That's a great question.
Does that even work?
You'd be surprised
Okay.
how often these concepts translate
Really?
across industries.
Okay.
I actually remember reading about a high-end restaurant
Oh, wow.
that was struggling with consistency.
Okay.
Their dishes were coming out differently
No.
each time, even with the same recipes.
So frustrating.
It was driving the chefs crazy.
And the customers probably weren't too happy either?
It was impacting the customer experience.
So what did they do?
What
Did they try to implement some kind of control plan?
they did.
They did.
The head chef actually had a background
Oh, wow.
in manufacturing, believe it or not.
No.
He realized they needed a more systematic approach.
So he brought those principles into the kitchen.
He did.
That's awesome.
So he started by defining
Okay.
very specific quality standards
Okay.
for each dish.
So, like,
Things like the exact temperature for a steak
gotcha.
or the precise thickness of a sauce.
It's like defining those product characteristics,
Yeah.
but for food.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Then he established checkpoints
Okay.
throughout the cooking process
Gotcha.
with clear instructions for each step.
Like a recipe, but even more detailed.
He even created charts to track things.
Wow.
Like cooking
Okay.
times and temperatures.
So he was really bringing in
It was his version,
that manufacturing rigor
of process control
to the kitchen.
adapted to the culinary world.
It sounds like he was really serious about it.
He was.
Did it work?
It did.
Did.
Not only were the dishes more consistent,
Awesome.
but the kitchen staff was less stressed.
Oh, wow.
And they were actually able to put out orders faster.
So it improved efficiency, too.
It was a classic example of how these principles can be applied in unexpected ways.
So if we had to distill a control plan
Okay.
down to its most essential elements,
To the core, what would those be?
what are the takeaways?
What are the core takeaways for our listener?
Well, first and foremost, it's about clarity.
Yeah.
Having a crystal clear understanding
Okay.
of your objectives,
What you're trying to achieve.
the steps involved,
Yeah.
and the criteria for success.
So you need that roadmap
You need that roadmap,
for your process.
no matter what that process is.
And you need a reliable system for
Yeah.
monitoring and control.
Monitoring and control.
Whether that involves,
Whether it's
regular checks, measurement.
or even automated sensors.
Right.
You got to be able to see what's going on.
And the ability to react quickly and effectively when things
Things go wrong.
go off track.
Yeah, those reaction plans.
Those reaction plans we talked about.
They're not just for manufacturing, they
Yeah.
apply everywhere. And of course, that ongoing commitment to continuous improvement.
Always getting better.
Control plans, or any system,
Right.
should never be static.
It's not a one-time thing.
You learn, you adapt, you refine.
It's a journey.
The pursuit of quality is a journey.
It's not a destination.
It's not a destination.
It's about constantly striving.
So it strikes me that these principles can be applied
Yeah.
even beyond the workplace.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, think about personal goals,
Yeah.
creative projects,
hmm
even something as mundane as organizing your closet.
You can apply these principles anywhere.
It's about bringing
It's about that intentionality.
that level of intentionality and structure
That's true.
to any area where you want to see consistent,
Yeah.
high-quality results.
You got it.
So we've seen how control plans,
Yeah.
while rooted in manufacturing,
Mhm.
offer valuable principles
They do.
that can be applied in countless ways.
Countless ways.
But I'm curious, are there ever situations... That's a good question.
Where a control plan
Yeah.
might not be the best approach. I
Oh.
mean, are there any downsides?
Yeah, are there any pitfalls?
Potential pitfalls to consider?
That's a really insightful question.
Okay.
And it's important to acknowledge
Okay.
that control plans,
Mhm.
they're not a one-size-fits-all solution.
Right.
They work best
Okay.
in environments where processes are relatively standardized and repeatable,
Okay.
but in situations where there's a high degree of variability
Okay.
or where creativity and flexibility are
Yeah.
paramount.
Like if you need to be able to adapt quickly.
Exactly.
Right.
A rigid control plan
Right.
could actually stifle innovation.
So it's about finding the right balance
It is.
between structure and flexibility.
You don't want to be so rigid
Right.
that you stifle creativity,
Right.
but you also need enough structure
Yeah.
to ensure consistency and quality.
So it's a balancing act.
It is, and I think that's one of the biggest challenges
Yeah.
when implementing control plans.
Right.
It's not just about creating the document.
Right.
It's about creating a culture
Yeah.
that embraces these principles.
It's a mindset shift.
It sounds like it requires a certain mindset.
It does.
A willingness to constantly evaluate, adapt, and improve.
Embrace that continuous improvement.
And it requires buy-in from everyone involved.
From the top down.
From the shop floor to the C-suite.
Everybody needs to be on board.
If people see the control plan as just another bureaucratic hurdle,
just another piece of paper,
it's not going to be effective.
It's got to be part of the culture.
It's like anything else, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about the tool itself.
Exactly.
It's about how you use it.
It's about how you implement it.
And when used effectively,
control plans
can be a powerful tool.
They can.
For achieving those goals. Consistent quality, reduced waste.
And continuous improvement.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We unpacked the what, the why.
The what, the why, the how.
And the how of control plans.
We've gone deep.
We've even explored how these principles can be applied.
Beyond manufacturing.
Beyond the world of manufacturing.
To all sorts of areas.
And we've touched on some of the potential challenges and pitfalls to watch out for.
Those are important to consider.
I think our listener has a pretty solid understanding of the power and potential of control plans.
I hope so.
I agree. But before we wrap up,
okay,
I have one final question for you.
All right.
And I'm putting you on the spot here.
Okay.
If you could leave our listener with one thought-provoking question, something to really ponder after they finish this episode.
Something to chew on.
What would it be?
Ooh, that's a good one. Let me think for a moment. Okay, how about this?
Okay.
Think about a process in your own work.
Okay.
Or even in your personal life, that could benefit from more consistency and control.
Interesting.
It could be anything from writing reports to planning a vacation.
Okay.
Now imagine applying the principles of a control plan to that process.
Okay.
What would that look like?
Yeah.
What steps would you take to define your objectives?
Okay.
Establish checkpoints. And ensure that the final outcome meets your expectations.
That's a great question.
The challenge.
It's a real call to action.
Yeah.
A challenge to look at the world.
To see the world differently.
Through the lens of a control plan.
Through that quality lens.
And see those hidden opportunities for improvement.
They're all around us.
They're all around us.
You just got to look for them.
Because at the end of the day...
That's what this deep dive has been all about.
This deep dive has been all about empowering you.
Empowering the listener.
The listener with the knowledge and tools.
To achieve your goal.
To achieve your goals.
And create a world.
And create a world where quality is not just an aspiration.
But a reality.
But a reality.
We can make it happen.
It's like you said, you're giving our listeners a set of quality lenses.
I like
to view the world through.
It's a new perspective.
Yeah. And who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe this deep dive will spark some creative problem solving.
Absolutely.
I know. I'm feeling inspired.
Yeah.
I might even try creating a control plan.
Oh, nice.
For my next vacation.
I'd love to see that control plan.
Maybe I'll share it.
But speaking of inspiration.
Yeah.
I think it's time to
wrap things up.
Wrap up this deep dive.
We've gone from control plans.
Which
might have sounded a bit dry at first.
Yeah, maybe not the most exciting topic.
To exploring a whole world of possibilities.
It's all about how you look at it.
All thanks to this fantastic training module from the AIAG.
It's a great resource.
It's amazing how much insight we've been able to extract from it.
There's a lot in there.
And it's been a pleasure exploring these concepts with you.
Likewise.
And of course with our listener.
Always a pleasure.
And as always, if you're eager to learn more, be sure to check out the show notes.
Yeah, we've got some great resources for you.
For links to additional resources, you'll find more information about control plans, the AIAG, and even some real-world examples of how these principles are being applied in different industries.
So you can see how it works in practice.
Who knows?
Yeah.
You might even be inspired to create your own control plan.
For that next big project.
For that next big project or that ambitious goal.
Or even that,
Or even that seemingly mundane task.
Yeah.
That could just use a little boost.
A little boost.
Of consistency and quality.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, that's what this deep dive has been all about.
It's about giving you the tools.
Empowering you, the listener, with the knowledge and tools to achieve your goals.
And create a world.
And create a world where quality is not just an aspiration, but a reality.
We can make it happen.
Until next time, keep diving deep. Keep exploring.
And keep striving for excellence.
And keep striving for excellence in all that you do.
And remember. The pursuit of quality.
The pursuit of quality is a journey, not a destination.
So enjoy the ride.